Hello, everyone. This is Simon from Hytera. Thank you for joining this session at the CCW conference. For me, it's a great opportunity to exchange our ideas with the audience. No matter we like it or not, COVID-19 has changed the way how we work, how we connect and collaborate. At the same time, the pandemic has affirmed how important and rewarding for the government to have a reliable mission-critical communication system for the first responder. It also makes us to rethink how we want to move ahead. That is also my topic for today, the future of mission-critical communication. Talking about the future evolution path, there are different views from different perspectives, and it is dynamic. But ultimately, it is all about how to enhance or reshape the business for the mission-critical users. It's clear that for the evolution of policing, capability and efficiency of decision-making plays such an important part. Data-driven and digitalization is no doubt the path. We talk about policing from 1.0 evolving to 4.0. We talk about command and control from C1 to C4 and C5. It's all about how to utilize data. Mission-critical communication will support policing in three migration paths. For data, it goes from voice to multimedia situational awareness. For management, it goes from silo work to cross-agent collaboration. And for command and control, it goes from reactive to predictive. And the goal is very clear. But the different customers have their own challenges and approaches. So here I just want to talk about what we think. First of all, we need to understand that we are talking about a mission-critical communication, not just the regular evolution of the ICT industry. It is very different. Working with our customer on a daily basis, we need to know what is important to them. For mission-critical user, two things are equally important: constant reliability and multi-dimensional data. An always available and reliable network is like the fundamental of a building. And the ability to handle and manage various data determines how high the building can be. For reliability, we need to think at four levels: time, space, ownership and security, as well as maturity. Critical users always put themselves into some extreme scenarios. There are a lot of what if. So uninterrupted services for extreme conditions is the key. Communication needs to be always available in a very long time span, with capability of ensuring QoS, priority, and preemption anytime, anywhere. And when situation goes tough, the first responder can still have their fellows on the call. And the full ownership and control of the network is another thing. It is the one and only way to guarantee the integrity and security of the network and information. The availability of most of the PPDR networks in Europe is higher than 99.9%. That is something we cannot expect the commercial operator to provide. And the network for critical users need to provide a full geography coverage, no matter if there's any commercial users to pay the bill. And a guaranteed proven technology means a stable future migration path. It also means the willingness from the ecosystem with a big number of vendors ready to work with. This is the way to tap into the economy of the scale for the customer and to get best value from their investment. For all of this, I'm talking about PMR. So let me put it straightforward. PMR, no matter for Tetra, P25, or PDT, it is still the first option and the last resort for reliable communication in extreme scenarios. And there's no better alternative yet. Here, mission-critical LTE works to augment instead of replacement of PMR. As mentioned, the trend of policing transformation is from siloed data to integrated data, from reactive to predictive, from informing dispatch to situational awareness. It's all about data. Information theory says the most effective data should be irrelevant. So the big data is not about how big the data is. It's about to collect the data from different dimensions, different scenarios, and different sources. And for mission-critical solution or service provider, they need to help the customer to lower down or even break down the border of the data. And for the data, including voice data and other sort of data, they need to across agency, cross department. And LTE, as the backbone technology, is the solution of it. It makes it possible to acquire data from more sources, from multiple subsystems. Then the combined data can be accessed by subscribers or applications in the system for better verified or more truthful intelligence, not just for leadership, but also for the first responders. For example, with LTE, it is possible to add a CCTV fitting join into a video conference call, as the evidence showed to the group. And another one is a video clip and location information from the social media can be easily sent to a first responder to show them or show him or her a better picture closer to truth. And with the unified management platform, data acquired from multiple channels can be processed, analyzed, and stored in a way of more efficient collaboration among teams and departments. With all we talked about in the previous slide, we believe the next generation mission-critical communication network has three fundamental attributes. First, the network is heterogeneous. Different agency has the different missions and the priorities. And their personnel has a different skill sets and know-hows. And they have system of different protocols in place, covering different territories. And they are most likely not in the same phases of the technology adoption. So a huge and technological homogeneous network cannot meet the request of such a diversity of user bases. A pure PMR network or LTE network, either of them cannot fulfill the need. It has to be hybrid. Technologies augment each other. Users can get the best out of each technology for the best user experience. Network need to be hybrid, but the service should be convergent. Users should not be distracted by the gap of working between different technologies, systems, and interfaces. All kinds of data should come from different sources, different subsystems, and finally gathered and managed properly in a convergent platform. In total, it needs to provide the services of informing, visualizing, managing, recording, and predicting. Last but not least, The benefit of open standard is obvious. And it is also the key logic and fundamental for the broadband communication. Any proprietary solution shouldn't be even an option for the mission-critical users. And of course, just like the evolving standard of MCPTT, it will be still a long run with a great effort from the industry stakeholders. And here comes the full picture of our idea of the next generation mission-critical communication. It should interconnect 3 different networks together with a unified platform for management and orchestration. Different technologies need to be integrated together to meet the public safety requirements anywhere, anytime, and as a reasonable price. PMR network for mission-critical voice, which is with full control, large coverage, and is always available. And carrier-based broadband network will be used for mobile policing applications. Meantime, it can also work like a backup for the PMR using MCPTT and also provide some extra coverage. Then dedicated broadband infrastructure can be deployed as bubbles or hotspots in the key areas and high density areas, just like pepperonis on pizza. It will be providing dedicated data supporting other services like remote video backhauls. Just like we mentioned, different countries, different agents, they may have their own pace of moving forward. FirstNet in the USA is deployed as a dedicated broadband network. It has a fast-growing number of subscriptions for its nationwide data capability. On the voice-centric P25, there's no plan of phasing out the PMR technology, and the states are in the process of expanding or upgrading their existing LMR system. And ESN UK is one of the most important references of the carrier-based public safety network. MOCN solution is applied for cost-effective and data security. But for both cases, PMR network is being used for now and will be used for a long period of time for mission-critical voice, which is the essential need and the bottom line of the critical communication. And for carrier-based LTE, overlay and MOCN, multi-operate core network, are the 2 main types of deployment options. MOCN solution is applied in most of the nationwide public safety networks. It allows the user to use carrier LTE coverage with a dedicated core network for data security and for management. It requires to have a light version of a core network, including some network elements like S gateway, P gateway, and PCRF. An overlay solution is close to the OTT kind of deployment, over the top, which requires only a new added application server on the top of existing network. And both solutions can be mixed with dedicated LTE system for additional coverage. Okay, now let's go back to our concept. The best approach for the mission-critical network will be PMR network for reliable voice, carrier-based broadband for mobile policing and MCPTT, and the dedicated LTE for key areas. It's like a network of networks. But how to manage all of those kind of different networks together as a whole? We need to have an integrated convergence framework. Convergence is not just to interconnect those networks. More than that, it means all the network elements can be managed in the same system. And all the subscribers in any network can have access to each other without being aware that they may be from different networks. And for some certain activities, all data can be called in the whole system among different networks across the border. It could be voice data from PMR, video from carrier LTE, and some telemetry data from a third-party network. And for instance, the convergence mechanism can be done in two levels, platform level and terminal level. To have a platform convergence, it needs to connect all the networks into one and have a centralized northbound network management system to manage all of them from the same UI, but different permissions. And for some critical service, for example, mission critical voice, it needs to have some underlying processing to ensure a very low latency between the different systems. Data from different systems need to be accessed and managed. And they also need to be packed in the same unified API for some certain abstract functions. For example, voice, video, and GPS. So the upper level application in the ecosystem can easily access all the data from a unified API. And the platform needs to be virtualization ready to be deployed in the cloud or container environment. And it might need to also support microservice for easy extension in the future and supporting different scales. Besides that, it needs to have a unified security policy and domain to ensure the data security, network security, and communication security. About terminal convergence. Maybe for the same customer, sometimes they might need to have different kinds of devices in the same business activity. First of all, they need to have a way to manage all of them in the same platform with unified policy and signature, no matter they are radios or cell phones or sensors or wearables. And they need to have one set of ID scheme and the fleet map for unified mission. And for some critical services, for example, mission critical voice, maybe for the same person, have multiple devices with different IDs. And for those devices, they need to be pre-programmed and to be smart enough to know how to interact between each other for the same activity. We don't want to see that one common cause to key up every device around that guy. And for some other scenario, devices of different physical forms need to be converted into same device and can be used for communication, data collecting, dispatching, and so on. Talking about control room, a unified interface for data access make it easier to collect and aggregate data from different systems, including records and live feedings. Cross-agency data convergence is the basis for predictive policing. Artificial intelligence-based data analysis finds patterns in huge amount of records, reports, and files. The system can mark some potential threats or alarms while monitoring dynamic data. Machine learning predicts possible scenario of the threats, like when, where, what, and how. Then the system can trigger the pre-programmed scenario-based action plan. Such data capability are precious, not only for the protecting the community, but also for protecting the first responder. And thanks to the technology, it gave the first responder the real-time mobile data access and the capability of remote briefing and reporting. And it becomes less necessary for them to be tied to a certain location, so they can be free and focused on their real business. Rapid and accurate decision can be made easily at the front line. It needs the portable device to be able to exchange and utilize data from the cloud through different networks. In that kind of scenario, portable communication devices with multi-mode, multi-function can be used as a mobile command console, which becomes the key of the whole logic. And even with a real command room, dynamic scheduling and cloud technology make it possible for the solution of distributed command and control. Like the C4 and C5 center are the paramount for the command and control for a city or a state. But in the meantime, there is a growing need of the local commanding post closer to the community. They should be less centralized, light version, and affordable. That is a way of simplifying the complex cases for faster response. Again, heterogeneous, convergent, and open standard are the key three attributes of the next generation of communication network. But it's more about from the perspective from a manufacturer or solution provider. ICT network itself is important, but how to have them deployed and utilized is also important. For critical network operator and end user, it also brings some new challenges and some new opportunities. When we talk about 5G benefits different vertical industries. We say that the new technologies such as network slicing, edge computing, virtualization make the ICT into one framework. And it is more related with real business scenario and applications of those industries. The concept of anything or everything as a service is coming into different domains, like infrastructure, platform, and even network. It enables some new business mode and new opportunities, and some new type of service providers such as network as a service or full stack platform as a service comes into the stage. On the top of the telecommunication infrastructure, this supports certain verticals and provides solutions for different needs, complicated traffic, massive amount of traffic, security threat, and even provides some functions or application in a higher level. In the meantime, they manage a full stack platform to support and enable the application providers for different verticals, such as smart factory, connected vehicle, e-healthcare, and so on. And for mission critical user, it will be the same logic. So the PPDR network operator may have a chance to get into a larger area. So when broadband comes, they will always keep their PMR network ready for mission critical voice. But more importantly, they need to have a way to interconnect and coordinate between their own PMR network, cellular network, and even the satellite network if possible. Just like the layer one in the slides, for example, for 5G, the vertical network could be a bunch of campus network of small cells, and they need to know how to connect all of them together. More than that, they may need to provide more platform service and environment at network function layer and multi-service control layer, such as SDN, NFV, network slicing, and orchestration. So they can distribute the network functions and the channels or terminals to give it to different customers and agents, just like the layer 2 and layer 3 in the picture. And based on the service from those two layers, they can also provide a set of abstract business-related functions such as MC video, MC voice, face recognition, even data structuring, locationing via a unified API or APK, which makes it a lot easier for the software developer or application developer to use, just like the fourth layer in the slides. And some of the operators may even be interested to provide some applications like command and control in the upper layer. They may also have to help the customer to find the balance between the business, efficiency, legal concerns, security and privacy issues, and so on. Always, opportunity always means challenges. And to create something bigger, the public safety operators may need to give away their legacy key values and that legacy technical fences, and they need to think outside their past independence. It will be a brand new world for them. And then for the end user, Digital transformation is always their big topic and always their goal. For that, I just want to say technology is the drive, but the business is the key, not the other way around. So let the first responder speak, because they're the ones who really know the business, and they're the ones who can give us a real feeling about the new technology can fit into a new business, their own business or not. And also new technology can help to reshape or change the business and procedures, but it needs to match with their current stage of management capability, business logic, and technology know-how. Otherwise, it will become a burden and it will not be successful. And proven technology is always a safe way to go, especially for public safety users. Another trend, or I can say is a must, is that we need to have data across agency, data across borders, and migrate them to the cloud. Again, the big data, it is not about how big the data is about the data from different dimensions. And last but not least, for critical ICT system in the new era, it will be way more complex than ever before. And the cybersecurity is so fundamentally important and it is very technical. In that case, it will be very hard for the customer to deploy and manage the whole thing on their own. They need support from a professional agent. So the business mode like solution as a service or management service is something they need to really carefully think about. That is all for the customer. And for Hytera, we always focus on providing the right and advanced product, solution, and services for critical communication customers. And we always hold an open mindset. And we are more than willing to work with our partners and create a widespread ecosystem. We want to see the right technology really benefits this industry and benefits our customer. That is also how we plan the road ahead for the future. That is all for my session, and I appreciate so much for your time and interest. You are more than welcome to stop by Hytera's booth of the CCW. Thank you very much.